The Modern Man Podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Modern Man Podcast. I know it's been the longest time since you've seen this beautiful mug on your screens, but we are back. We are better than ever. Today's guest, we have somebody that's been on the podcast before, someone that I've been grateful to create a friendship with since our first podcast. A lot of people have been asking for a second episode with him. The one and only Jason Wolverson.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. It's awesome to be here.
Well, we're going to jump right into it, right?
Yes.
So, your biggest thing, obviously, it's even on your Instagram handle, Jason Spirit. I want to talk about spirituality. I want to be able to understand the meaning, the practice of it, because a lot of people, they hear the word, but they don't really know what's going on about it. Would you be able to elaborate that deeper for us?
Very much so. And I've been having a lot of chats recently about it, and it seems to be a general question everybody wants to know. So a lot of people ask me about religion. We grew up religiously. Spirituality is very much about being honest with yourself. It's about looking inwards and reflecting. A lot of people have got it wrong. Obviously, in my sense, I grew up a little bit differently, and I grew up sensitive and picking up things. So spirituality, took a completely different light there. But spirituality is about knowing yourself.
Yes.
Plainly and simply, and being hard on investigating that and becoming the best versions of yourself.
Okay. So very much introspection.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and doing the work.
Yeah.
Doing the work. So I'll always say, stand up for yourself, man. Love yourself.
Yeah.
Be a better version of yourself. And it reflects on everything in your life. Do the research, check it out, see what works for you.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying the other day, I'll take you, maybe we should do it one day. We go to Thailand, we sit in the temple.
Yes.
You'll love it. Doesn't mean you must become a Buddhist.
Yeah.
but Buddhism is just a lacquer way of life. It's not a religion. But go and discuss that with a Christian. They don't like it, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love God very much, so please don't misinterpret that. But it's about figuring out what works for you.
Yes.
Taking the different sciences and applying that science to yourself.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, they when they hear spirituality, they think, oh, it's not religious. But it kind of it blends into each other, really, is it not?
Big time, man. If you study all the big masters, Jesus as well.
Yes.
They were very spiritual dudes, man.
Yes.
They were very, very connected. And their teachings were amazing. And it's all about introspection.
Yes.
The word that you
So something like that, let's say somebody's never done it in their lives. Where do you start? Where do you start to something? What's your first step into introspection?
So definitely, I'm going to treat you like a client now.
Yes.
And I'm going to say to you, listen, walk into the bookshop, go to the esoteric section, have a look around and see what jumps out at you. I don't care what it is. Take it home and read it. Just read it.
Yeah.
As you did now, meditation, we spoke about it. You're trying.
Yeah.
When you get meditation right, you figure out a lot about yourself. It's always a good way to start.
Yeah.
Guided meditation's great. Put YouTube on, put a guided meditation there. Close your eyes and listen to what he or she is telling you and try and imagine that in your mind and start with that.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to do it.
Because it's not easy. I mean, like I was telling you, I used to, when I did meditate back in the day, I didn't like listening to somebody telling me, what to do. These days, I would say easily for the past month, my meditation in the morning is guided meditation. And it's actually completely different from that. And when you start listening to them, you start envisioning different things in your mind. It's very difficult to meditate for a long period of time. Some people, for me, I do 10 minutes in the morning. But 10 minutes for some people is way too long. They can't keep focus for more than a minute, 2 minutes, which is, a normal thing. Your mind just kind of runs. You find yourself thinking about this, thinking about that, and then you kind of have to bring yourself back. And I think that's a difficult thing when it comes to introspection. So meditation is one form. What else could somebody do?
Gandhi says if you're battling to meditate, you need to meditate some more. And just out of interest sake, every day in the middle of the day, I do NSDR, no sleep, deep rest.
Yes.
I kind of balance with that and it works well. That's also a form of meditation, but it just balances your system.
What do you do? Isn't it like a 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, so that it kind of works on your body and they work. So she'll say you can imagine the feeling here and going through your face and down your body and squeeze your hands, and it just kind of gets your neurosystems going again and your whole neural network starts firing. But that works for me because it's physical.
Yes.
And then I just find my body goes,
Yeah. Get rid of anxiety and all that kind of stuff in the day.
Big time.
Yeah.
So I put myself into a holy environment. So I found a church that actually works for me. For me, it works. I haven't found somebody like me spiritually that I trust.
Yes.
And that works. I find somebody that you can talk, that you can learn from, find a mentor. I believe every single person alive, myself included.
Yes.
I'm certainly no saint, but you need somebody that you can feed off of, that you can learn from, that's been there, that's done it.
Yeah.
And everybody needs a coach of some sort. Make sure it's a spiritual coach.
Yes.
They'll teach you stuff about yourself that you don't know. So, like, for instance, we did touch on it previously,
Yeah.
but...
Sorry about that. Someone's at my gate.
No problem.
Yeah.
But, like, and I'd like all the viewers and listeners to listen to this.
Yes.
So, every person that comes to me, I explain this to them. We've all cried before. You get a lump in your throat. It's not lacquer, but that's your emotional chakra. Mm-hmm. Your heart chakra, your heart ache. It's also good, I guess, when you're happy in love. Butterflies in your stomach. It's getting a relationship with that and understanding, because it's metaphysical science. It's a physical reality. It's how we made. Everybody thinks we just meat suits running around.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not true.
100%, yeah.
We are spiritual beings on a human journey, come to investigate this awesome space and get the best out of life.
And your body's just like the car that drives it.
100%.
Yeah. I've been doing, I don't know if you heard a masterclass like that, that website. So I got a subscription back in December.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to lie to you, for the first 6 months, the only thing I learned was how to make the best scrambled eggs. Gordon Ramsay makes top scrambled eggs.
He
but
does.
actually, last week I started studying with the new brain health. It's brain health that's coming out now. And it's like you learning about the neuroscience of meditation. And as you were saying, like the butterflies and the anxiety and, like trying to make sure that your body, you kind of prepare yourself to get older so that your brain, you don't have, you're fighting versus the age of anxiety. You don't get your dementia and everything like that later in life. And a lot of that like what I learned was a lot of it comes back to spirituality. Doing the internal work, like learning how to control the anxiety, your chakras, your this, your that, and everything like that. It's actually crazy.
But it's interesting because have you heard of Jimmy Quick?
No.
Jimmy Quick, he does brain training. So he was the first guy that there's a room full of people and everybody said their names. And he said all of them, then he said it all backwards. So he figured out how to train his brain. So my mom always said to me, Joe, I support you doing the spiritual work.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you have to understand something. When you're using your psychic brain or spiritual brain, your physical brain's going to take stress and you're going to get forgetful. So a lot of people that are close to me, they know that. But I was genuinely concerned about it. So I started doing Jimmy Quick and learning how to work with it. My memory's coming back. And so it just takes functionality. So I understand you can prepare your brain for getting older and how to work with it and to prepare yourself so you don't get Alzheimer's. But a lot of people just don't want to do the work, man.
Because it's hard work. It's genuinely hard work, and you have to consistently. I think a lot of people think that it's do it for a month and you sort it for the rest of your life. I mean, like as you say, this whole introspection, spirituality thing, it's a ever-going practice for the rest of your life. I mean, for me, I'm not going to lie to you, for the last, I would say, a year, maybe 2 years is when I've really taken it a lot more seriously, especially this year. And from month to month, my ideas are different. My brain works differently. It's always like I'm learning new things about myself. I used to like things like this. Now I don't like things like this. And in a month, I don't have to like it again anymore. And it's like consistently changing, but you're consistently doing, I call it stock take of a person. You're kind of doing stock take of yourself once a month. How did I do here? How did I do there? And it's a lot of work. Like, it's not fun half the time. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. You kind of have to like sit there with the pain. But I believe in it's the same way as, when they say you do hard things, you have an easy life. Do easy things, you'll have a hard life.
I actually was hoping to talk about that today.
Yes.
Because a lot of people like to talk about the big, happy, fluffy stuff. So often when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like it, man. But I get up anyway. I've got a personal trainer booked at a certain time. Don't feel like it, but I go. I do all my introspection before then, all of it. And I force myself to meditate, journal, program, strategize. I'll go do some spiritual work after that. Then I've got all my meetings and I've got my online stuff. Then I've got studies. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I don't want to do it, but I'm always happy afterwards. Always.
100%.
So I don't listen to the mind. And that's something I'd like everybody to take from today. You've got your mind and then you've got the mind. And the mind assassinates us all the time.
Yes.
So I don't listen to that. I've learned. And the more I find that I don't listen to it. The more I stick to that discipline and I do the work, the more I've noticed things in my life start changing. And so just like everybody to try and practice that.
So what do you say? I saw your post, I'd never negotiate with yourself.
Yeah, never negotiate with the mind.
Yourself.
Yeah.
If you said something, you do it.
Yes.
Because I was reading about that in the 5 a.m. club with Robin Sharma. It was the first time I actually learned about that, how the brain actually works. You know, you got one side of the brain that wants you to go into the unknown, the unnatural, you know, and like really take the risks, go thing. But then you have the kind of human part of the brain that doesn't want the uncomfortable. You know, it's built for survival. So it's like, as soon as you go like a week into something, it's like, no, come back. This is new to us.
Yes.
We're not used to this. Please don't like, we're survival mode. We know this is comfortable. So stay where it's comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that's where your brain always tells you, oh, but I can do this tomorrow. Maybe start Monday. Maybe not do this. It's a negotiation completely all the time.
Absolutely, but I've learned to not listen to that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Your brain's your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Majority of the time.
It's designed to protect you and just keep you there. And you know, you listen to guys like Arnold. Everyone knows Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
Yeah.
that he taught me a lot of that in his teachings. And it's interesting because exercise is a great platform for that. You got 12 reps to do. You don't feel like doing it, but you do it. You think, shit, I did it. Eh? It's a good platform for life. Eh?
And as you said, you never actually feel shit after doing it. You'll never do something that you wanted to set out to do in the first place and feel bad about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's when you don't do something, you wake up or you sit at the end of the day and you're like retrospecting on your day and you're sitting there and you're like, I said I was going to do this, but I sat on the couch like a lazy fuck the whole day and I didn't do any of what I said I was going to do.
100%, buddy. 100%. I've had oftentimes I'm coming home at 8, 9 o'clock at night and I'm driving and I've got phone calls to do. And I just don't feel like doing them. But then I do them.
Yeah.
Then I'm happy I've done them.
Exactly. And then you know it's done at least.
Yeah.
See, but I think that also comes down to one of the most important topics I think there is in this world, just accountability. You can't lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You know what work you've done, what work you haven't done. And I think accountability is everything in this world.
Absolutely.
Everything is your fault. I always believe that. It's kind of the mindset I've adopted now. So let's say one of the team makes a mistake or my business does this or a personal relationship has it. It's my fault. Why? Because it happened on your watch kind of thing. You know, you have to do the work. You kind of have to figure it out afterwards.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I try to live like that.
Yeah.
So I took accountability for my life. There's lots that I wasn't doing right, and I was honest about it. Took accountability, sorted it out. Things started shifting. Take accountability. I also like the word authentic. Authentic energy is probably the most powerful force in the universe.
Yes.
And you know it. You know when you're around authentic people. You know when you can
Your
keep
energy
agreement
doesn't
to
lie.
them. Absolutely. And when you are accountable a lot for yourself, that authentic energy starts breeding. And a lot of people want to do business with you. They want to grow with you. They want to spend time with you.
Yes.
So I believe the two go hand in hand. I'm telling you now, with all my spiritual stuff and when I go deep inside, it always goes to authentic, authentic, authentic.
Yes.
And when you're authentic with yourself, you breed honesty. So then you know you've got to do that stuff. So you get it done.
Yeah. It comes down to self-awareness as well. It's like kind of knowing, as you said, doing the introspection, you become a lot more self-aware. You then can hold yourself accountable and become your authentic self. Because how could you actually be authentic if you don't know who you are in a way? You know, you don't know what you like or how you want to act or this kind of thing. It doesn't happen naturally. You kind of put on like a, what's that saying? You know, every man has 3 masks. You know, one that they show the world, one that they show people they love, and one that they keep to themselves.
Yes.
If you don't know that one that you keep to yourself and you haven't like figured that out, then you're kind of fucked at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I think accountability, as you say, authenticness. Be yourself. You don't have to act around. Obviously, I think there's definitely certain times and places, you know, you have to act in a certain way because that's life. You know, you show respect to certain things. It's just the way it is. But if you're trying to put on an act and be somebody else, a person that is smart or been through that kind of thing, they'll pick it up very fucking quickly.
Yes.
And then you kind of just screwed yourself completely.
Well, talking about that, the spiritual part of my career, which has been the platform to create everything in my life, all the business that I do has come from that. But when people come to sit with me, being connected, I can see if they're out of integrity with themselves. And I tackle that stuff and get them to be more authentic with themselves. That's actually what I do. If you think about it logically, my physical, spiritual career is about studying people. And I'm sensitive, so I can pick up on it. So it's a science that you need to apply
Yeah.
big time,
For
because
sure.
I'm trying to teach people that. So that's something I did with myself.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, and the moral of that whole story is when I was younger, I used to get in my meditation that the universe is using me as a guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
And the devil's chasing your heels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I've had a very colorful life, man. And very, very. And I sit and talk to my kids sometimes about it, and they can't believe. I shelter them from it. The other day, my very best friend, his name's Robert, and we've known each other since we were 9 years old. And funny enough, my ex-wife has made friends with him, and they were having a personal chat, and he was telling my kids about some stuff that I got up to. And this guy's like, but Dad, you never told us this. It's like, and I was sheltering them, but
Yes.
I've been through a lot of stuff. I learned a lot about myself. I sometimes look back and I'm not happy with that human that I was, but I've learned and I've grown through it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, it goes back towards authentic, being honest.
Yeah.
And the moment I started doing that, my life changed,
Really.
like that.
Because you went through like a whole transformation now in a way. I saw you went sober, you went this and that, you've been trained. Tell me more about that.
So that was one of the things.
Yeah.
Alcohol just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I was way too good at it. So like, it was a big part of my social life. I grew up
Yes.
like that. I grew up like it when I was younger. And the problem is, very honestly, I'm just too busy now to wake up in the morning hungover. I can't.
It kills you, eh?
Yeah, and I just, and if I think about the energy, I mean, this morning it's a very close person's birthday, and they sent a video clip of
Yes.
when we were having a big jaw together. And I looked and I was like, jeez, I don't know if I want to do that again. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I've just grown right past that.
Because in the moment, it's always fun when you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's I actually watched the reel that dropped, it must have been yesterday, of Russ. You know the singer Russ? He was talking about alcohol, and what people don't talk about is you understand the physical hangover, but it's the spiritual and mental hangover that actually takes its toll on you.
Yeah.
It's when you wake up the next day, you're not firing at 100%. You have to work double as hard just to do like 60-70% of your actual work.
Big time, man. And it was such a big part of my life, actually. And my dad stays here and he would have a few dopes. And I was thinking, well, I'm not doing anything. Let me go and have a drink with him.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, everybody that's here, if we were honest with ourselves, we all know what's good and what's bad for us.
Oh,
All of us.
100%.
Just
100%.
a lot of guys don't have the balls to admit it, and that's just the honest truth.
Yeah.
So what I did was I had the balls to admit what was affecting my life. And, I look in the gym, I'm happy with how my body's looking.
Yes.
I'm happy with how my business is going. I'm happy with the people I've got around me. I'm happy with what's happening. Since I stood up for myself, I'm pretty sure it's one of the secrets to the universe. When you stand up for yourself, the universe provides.
Yeah.
And I also never realized how bad my health was. That's what gave me a big
Really?
fright. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went for a full body scan, hormone test. I went for a wee test, stool test. I did the whole thing. And I had a fatty liver. My hormones were completely out.
Yeah.
I was 37% body fat. I was always
Really?
a bit of a bigger oak.
Yes.
And when I changed all of that, I'm sitting at 13% body fat now.
Shit.
I'm studying better. I'm studying my doctorate again. My gym is great. My work ethic is perfect. My systems are applying. And if I look at how far I've gone in the last 6-7 months,
Yes.
I can't believe it.
And it's crazy. You just wake up one day and it just
Just like that.
decided.
When I saw that video of a jaw that we were having, I was like, I remember the fun there, but I don't want to do that again. I don't
Yeah, I
like
get
that
you.
guy so much. I like this. I
you
like this
the
new guy.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, this is actually sad. It's going to sound very sad. So this is my first week of this whole year that I've gone sober. Last Sunday was my last drink. I said to the boys, we're going to do monk mode for a month. We're going to, go sober, accountability, training, studying, doing the meditation, the stretching, everything that's good for you. The things that you know are good for you. Because I've always had the thing of saying, I know what's bad for me. I'm not dumb when it comes to those kind of things. Sometimes I just like it because it's fun. That's
Yes.
the problem. I think the fun part is for me, like, I enjoy having a good party. I enjoy having a drink. I actually like the taste of like a glass of wine or something like that. But now, just 1 week of doing it, every morning I woke up, I was like, cool. I'm not feeling shit. I'm ready to tackle my fucking day. I'm going at it, and I had energy throughout the whole thing. So I totally understand why people go sober. Like, it makes sense.
So listen, I battled my whole life with sleep. First time in my life I'm sleeping properly, I'm sleeping through. I actually measure it on my watch. Just that's how bad my sleep was.
Yes.
And my memory, my retention, my work ethic, my body fat, just how it's so important.
And it fixes your resting heart rate as well and stuff like that.
Big time.
It's long term. It's longevity. Everything's longevity at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I'm mid-50s now, my heart rate, my resting heart rate. And when I started was high 70s.
Shit. See, that's where I'm at now. I also realized I was like, I need to get that shit down myself. Yeah.
And then my blood pressure was high as well. All changed. And I feel better.
Yeah.
And I realized that's actually the quality of life. That's it. When you're living in the moment, you're able to be the best version of yourself. You can operate, you're feeling good, you're sleeping like you wake up, tackling the day.
So would you not ever pick up a drink again?
So I never stopped drinking for that.
Yes.
But I'm enjoying it so much.
That you don't want to go back.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm busy planning to go overseas with the kids, and we were going to do Ibiza, and we're going to do a few like Tomorrowland or something like that.
Yeah. Guess you got energy to do tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm still young enough to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
for sure.
But it's something that I wanted to do with the kids, or Ibiza or something like that. So I thought about it, but like I'm having fun with them now, and they've accepted it. They're not like pushing me to dope, but I never stopped because I thought, listen, I'm an alcoholic, I need to stop.
Yes, yeah.
I was just too good at it.
I get you.
And then
You just enjoyed it too much.
yeah. And yeah, like I could never, like my thing was, why have one shot? Let's have a few. Like, and
I'm exactly like that myself. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and don't ask me to come out for a beer. Like, if we're going to drink, we must drink and party and have a good time. You know what I mean? I'm not here to waste my time and then go home and like, no.
A lot of people that are watching this that know me, they know I was very good at it. So,
but has it changed like your personality? Because a lot of people always say they don't want to stop because then they think they're not going to have fun going out. They're not going to enjoy themselves as much. The party won't be as fun without a substance.
So
like controlling their personality in a sense.
So it's done this to me. I'm a lot more peaceful, and I found that I don't want to be in those environments as much now. But I'm doing different things.
So when you're sober and around drunk people, it ain't it.
So yeah, and I get that a lot, obviously, because everyone around me is still young and social. But I accept it. But I promise you, I'm enjoying the books that I'm reading, the studies that I'm doing, the travels that I'm doing, the journeys I'm going on. Like I'm enjoying it a lot.
It's a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And you remember it.
Yes. Exactly.
You don't feel shit the next morning.
It's amazing having my memory back.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, 100%.
Jeez.
Talk to me about your education. You're studying your doctorate now. What are you studying at the moment?
So I got my MBA through Cumbria University, and then I was actually battling with it. So I come from the school, the way that I grew up, education didn't mean much to me, and still doesn't. I value people for who they are, but I must tell you, when I got my MBA, it changed everything for me. Doors were opening up. People were saying, okay, Jay's seen this person, he knows this guy, he knows this, but what's his credentials? So it changed everything. So I was battling with the doctorate part. Like, I don't really need the doctor next to my name, but I'm doing it, and I'm smashing it, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So at the moment, that's what I'm doing through Cumbria as well. And then I'm studying also a pilot's license on and off. Reza's got me studying Cantonese because one of our businesses, we have to go over there and we have to chat. I don't really need it. But so I'm using
that man
my
also does a lot, eh?
Yeah, jeez. But I mean, he's a certified genius, so he already knows how to do it. And he's talking to me already, and I only know little bits of it. Eh? So I have to keep my mind working. I find the more I do, the more I'm learning, and the more it's opening up for me. So I've realized, spirituality, working on yourself, education.
And education isn't just like, as you say, doing a doctorate or something like that. It's like learning. For me, like when I think about education, like learning different skills, like let's say public speaking or this and that, the small little things in life that can help you. I think that's also a big part of education that doesn't get taught in schools and stuff like that.
So I did go on a course that I used to battle with this kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm busy writing a book. So I needed to learn.
Are you writing a book, eh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've been writing.
It's also on my bucket list someday.
Yeah, you've got some interesting stories to tell, I'm sure. But I needed to learn how to do that, how to articulate it. I wasn't really good at the computer. I did an Apple course. So 100%. Educate yourself in stuff that you need to learn.
You can always figure something out. A lot of people, sorry, excuse me. they always say, no, sorry, I can't do this.
But
I always
you-
say, I can't do this yet.
But you
I
told
can
me,
do this in the future. You know?
definitely. But you told me something just now that blew my mind away, and I was very proud of you, actually. You got a bond at 23, but you went and learned how to do it. A lot of guys don't do that. Now, at 23, you got a bond.
Yeah.
It's going to be paid off.
Yeah.
You can get another one now.
Yeah,
you
by
can
the
move
time I'm
forward.
43, I've got it. It's done.
100%.
Yeah.
You can even get another one rented out. You can
Exactly,
grow. But
yeah.
you learned that.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you, my man. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's very valuable that. So my education, I didn't know a lot of stuff. Pegasus is one of our businesses. I had to learn a lot about that, big time.
That's the one with Visa, eh?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. When he was telling me about that, I was mind blown. I couldn't believe it.
yeah. So he's an interesting okay.
Yeah.
He's got an incredible brain, and I've had the honor of spending a lot of time with him. Mensa, which he got me to do for my IQ, but he's at the top of Mensa.
Yeah.
Right at the top. And the way he uses
What's
his brain.
Mensa? Sorry.
Mensa is an IQ organization, so you do the test, and then you see what your IQ is, and they give you a certificate if it's high enough, of course. So he's in the top 3 in the world, actually.
Oh, shit.
He's a certified genius. A lot of people don't realize that, but his brain's different. So we'll go to a business meeting, and he's like looking at the design and everything, and I'm like handling the chats. But I have to kick him under the table. He's just interesting.
But some people are like that, though. You know,
Yeah.
everyone plays towards their own strengths in a way, you know.
Well, he was actually the one that pushed me, though. So he has to study something. At the moment, he's studying another degree. I think he's got like 8.
I remember him telling me, I'm not going to lie, I did that podcast with 3 hours of sleep. And I sat there and I was hungover, but I was like, okay, cool, no, I'm not missing this podcast, you know. And then met him chatting. I'm like, oh, this guy's cool, you know. And I sat down and then he started speaking. I was like, oh. I was like, what the fuck, bro? He just made me feel so bad. I'm like, I'm going to go home and study now, dog. Like,
But it's like Joe Rogan. Eh? I watched him the other day. He says, you know, when I'm talking to Elon Musk, I'm aware of how stupid I am. So Reza's the one that inspired me, though, to
Yes.
get my MBA. And he's inspired me to study and to use my brain. And now that it's working,
yes.
I get it.
Yes, yeah.
I get it now. It wasn't working before. So, yeah, it's important, man. Spiritual, body, you've got to just, on all the different aspects of your life.
Yes.
I find that I operate best with discipline, man. So,
Not motivation.
nobody wants to study, I think.
No, dude, studying's cuck. I hated, there was the one thing in school, I hated studying. I'm one of those, I cram the night before. I got a photographic memory, I cram it the night before. I'm like, okay, cool. I write the test
Really,
the next
buddy?
day. I'm like, yeah, no.
See that picture over there?
Yeah.
That one with my little hat on
Yes,
there?
yes, yes.
So my whole family was watching here for me. It was a huge thing, buddy, when I
remember that, and you went on stage. And
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
I had to
yes.
fly through to Cumbria to get it. And in that moment, I realized why I did it. And so I'd love everybody just to set a goal and just do it.
Yeah.
Smash it. You get an education, you get a better job, you earn more money.
If you do the work on yourself, you're always going to just live a better life.
Absolutely.
I mean, we were talking about that. No, obviously earlier was doing the work. It's crazy how the universe pays you back tenfold. If you do the introspection, the work on yourself, you know, you become a better person. You live as a good person. You know, I see you got it on the wall there. Just be a better person or be a good person. And when you're putting out that energy into the universe, things happen for you. You know, you just kind of put out that intention, because you can also sit here and talk about it. As soon as you start doing the work, it rolls, and then it's like a compound interest, and it just skyrockets.
Well, man, I 100% agree with that. If I had to go back to so it was the 2nd of September, 2023. It's the last time I had a sip of alcohol. I started my doctorate. I changed. If I look back from that time to now, the amount of business I've opened up, the new partnerships I have, if I look at pictures of how my body looks now compared to how it looked,
Yeah.
how my brain's working, my sleep, my energy, the circle I've got around me, you know that saying, if you are the 5 closest people to you, man, I'm very lucky with those people.
I agree with that completely. And you know, like, I try to challenge myself also to just try to spend more time with people that are better than me. There's no point in hanging out with people that aren't better than you, because then you'll just never grow better.
Yes.
If you're going to hang out what's that saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Always.
I wanted to make sure that I tackled this, and this is a really good opportunity to talk about it. We spoke about spirituality.
Yes.
And then physicality as well, and business and things. And I had a very deep moment at that table next door. And you met my business partner, Matt, just now.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Jay, you know what? I can see you battling in your life. Go and have a chat. I call him affectionately the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Go and have a chat with him. Write your stuff down, what you want, and see what happens. And I asked for 3 things. The first thing was, listen, I know there's negative energy around me. I know. Expose it to me. Second thing was, I need to meet the right people in business. I'm busy and I'm operating, but I'm blocked. Third one was about my love life, which is always going to be an interesting topic. That's our whole podcast by itself. But the interesting thing, in 1 month, and I want everyone to just realize the power of this, in 1 month, the closest people in my life that were extorting, stealing from me, blocking me, they were all exposed.
Really?
And it hurt like hell, but it was exposed like this. So then I had to fix that and deal with it. Second thing is, in the particular businesses that I operate, especially in the commodity sector, I needed political connections, and I got them. And that was just shortly after that. And then, like I said, the love life is another one altogether. But I asked the universe, and I was very specific about it.
You were very specific about it. That's a big thing.
And I got it. I mean, I've got a full partnership now with a guy called Alan Mukaki. And you guys can check it out. He's the Chamber of Commerce CEO.
Yes.
And the people that I've met, the doors that this guy's opened up for me, it has been absolutely mind-blowing.
Yes.
But I actually realized afterwards, I'm teaching people how to do this, but I wasn't doing it.
It's what they say, the coach always gives the best advice but can't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Jay, you know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Stop bullshitting yourself. Simple.
You're negotiating with yourself.
100%.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember there was, it's a funny story, but there was a long time ago, there was a lady that was interested in me, and I knew she was wrong for me. I knew it.
So you were like a bull to a red flag, eh?
Yeah, but I was entertaining the idea. And I thought, I respect that she's making an approach to come into my space, but I knew it was wrong. And when I started entertaining, I was like bullshitting myself. Everything started going wrong in my life, and I realized, okay, just be honest with yourself, Jay. So basically, what I'm saying to you is I've learned actually to be an honest human being. I wasn't always, and I'm man enough to admit it.
Yeah.
I think we all are like that, just people don't have the balls to admit it.
100%.
And I'm certainly no saint, but I'm trying. I try.
Yeah, you know what the thing is? I think we've all made mistakes. It's a natural thing, and if we didn't make mistakes, we aren't human.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. When you look in somebody's life, you always think, I would have done this way, or I would have done that way, because it's the way your brain thinks, But it's just, I think one thing we also struggle with this day and age, I've seen it a lot with society, this whole, they do you wrong once, cut it kind of thing, cut them off, chop them off kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think society went way cockeyed with that. I think they went way too left with that kind of thing, and now you make one small little mistake, like just a human mistake, and people are branding you as a bad person, or, it's that saying is like, people don't judge you by your good intentions, they judge you by your last worst mistake, and that's a real thing, that a person isn't their mistakes. It's what they do afterwards to try to rectify it. So I think people also just got to be a little bit, what's the word, empathetic?
Yeah.
Because I used to be like that. I used to, as soon as someone did me like any kind of bad thing, I was like, nah, leave, Obviously, you give a second chance, they cock it up the second time, then that's you leave it. But everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's human at the end of the day.
But that book that I'm writing is thick.
Oh, really?
because
How long have you been writing it for?
So about 16 years, actually.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell people about my life when I was younger, how I was born into this family and seeing what I see. And then I realized I don't want to get my ego involved. But then, I made some bad mistakes in my life. I ruined some good relationships. I hurt a lot of people. But I was taught a certain way in life. It's not an excuse. It's a bullshit excuse, actually.
Yeah.
But I learned in life from what I was taught. And then I had to kind of
unlearn it.
Yeah, work myself through that, and caused a lot of damage there. And I've been trying to fix it ever since. And you know what? People do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And so I right now in my life, just trying to be a good human, but it's
Yeah.
helped. It's helped a lot. But I made a lot of those mistakes.
100%. And, I always tell people, you're always going to be the villain in somebody's story. I say, if I'm going to be authentically me and I piss you off, it's kind of, at the end of the day, your problem, not my problem. Because as long as I'm not maliciously doing something bad to you, then sorry that my spirit irritates your demons. Sorry, like that's not my problem. You kind of got to fix that. If I'm not your cup of tea, I'm not your cup of tea, and that's fine. If you can accept that not everyone's going to be happy with you or be good with you, then life gets a whole lot easier.
I also realized through that process exactly what you said now. So like I would look at what's triggering me. Like where does it come from? So like if somebody's upsetting me or I'm upset about something, done something wrong, learn from it. But you're in a situation like, what are the triggers for me? Figure out where those things come from and do something about it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Life's a funny thing, eh?
Yes, big time.
And it's crazy how I always say to people how things change so quickly. If I look at myself 6 months ago, like let's say start of the year, my life was completely different. I was still staying at home. I hadn't found my nice new apartment. I was single. I've got a great girlfriend now. Businesses weren't the same. Now I've started like 3 different ones, little projects that I'm working on. We're doing cool different things, meeting new people. I mean, life changes so damn quick.
I know, man. I'm very proud of you, seeing how it grows, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
I wanted to share on that. I mean, just listening to you talk and the chats we've had today, the way my brain works is, shit, I can introduce him here, I can do that. But I always say, like, a lot of people want the lack of things. But that's why I said just now, I don't want to make it fluffy. I want people to know it's hard. You've got to
Life
work.
is hard. And Drake said it best. A fruitful life is an exhausting life.
Yeah.
I come home, end of days, I'm fucking knackered, eh?
Yeah.
My brain's tired, like your soul's tired, you've done so much and your body's tired, and the next morning you got to wake up and do it again. Because if you want that kind of life, I always say it's the same, I say it like nearly every podcast, you want the highest of highs, you got to experience the lowest of lows. There's no in between where you think you're just going to get
Absolutely, bro.
eat your cake and have it. What? Have your cake and what's the
And eat it, yeah.
Yeah, eat it too. No.
A lot of my posts and stuff on my social media, it'll be like when you put your head down at night,
Yeah.
you must know you've done everything that you needed to do in that day.
Yeah.
And you'll sleep better, I promise you.
100%. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, then you'll wake up and you'll smash life again.
That's your thing, smash life.
Yeah, because I believe it. I've learned it.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, and just every day do the work.
Yeah.
Wake up and keep yourself busy.
And what's next for you? What's next on the horizon?
So I'm about to start a new project in Mozambique now.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that. I've been trading heavily in commodities for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So that was guided to me by spirit, by the way. I've never told you that.
Yes.
I didn't tell you about when I was in COVID. And like my work is like this spiritually. And then in my meditation, spirit said to me, Jay, what's your strength this lifetime? So I said, it's spirit. He said, yeah, but physically. I said, it's my network.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. And the next thing, a friend phoned me and said, Jay, listen, my business is going to close. I need diesel. You know a lot of people. Please, can't you help me? I said, shit, you know what? I can.
I know a guy.
Phone my guy. He said, Jay, listen, it's COVID. I'll give it to you at cost. Put a commission on. And I put a rand commission on, not knowing that's a monster commission. Me and my family were fine.
I was going to say a rand.
Jeez. But
it doesn't sound like much, but when you're thinking diesel, yeah.
per liter, yeah, geez, it was great. So that got my mind working. Then I opened up a very successful diesel business. Then it got into vessels. Then I got into coal. Diesel and coal talk to each other. Now I've got my own coal plant. Then I started working with chrome, trading chrome, got my own assets there. And that led
Doors
me
don't open unless you walk through them.
100%. By the way, it sounds easy, but there's a lot of work that went into that process.
Sure. Yeah.
And that led me up to the partners that I've got now. Built up a new relationship with a guy by the name of Manny. And he works with the Mozambican president. Open up doors that we're going to go open up 2 mines there in the next 2 weeks now. My own assets.
Yeah.
And my family's prepped. We're all ready. I'm ready
You're
to
going
go.
to live in a tent.
Probably.
We were talking about that. No.
Probably, but it's a really exciting, valuable asset that's going to be there. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited about that. And yeah, so a lot of other things going on. Pegasus is taking a whole new, Rezus just launched a new eVTOL. There's a lot of guys now wanting to fund that because of that. So that's keeping us busy. We're looking at opening up another chrome plant.
Yes.
That's just trading on another level altogether.
Yes,
We're opening up assets overseas, Dubai, Luxembourg. So lots.
Nothing wrong with that. Eh?
Yeah.
Always say busy is better than bored.
The best part is I'm using my brain, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. It's a challenge every day.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier. You and I are the same when you get bored. If something doesn't challenge you, you got to create something new, do something.
Absolutely, man. And the guy that I got this place from, Mario, he's been an absolute saint to me. Because when I came in here, I was in a difficult part of my life, and he helped me a lot. And he's really good at property. But like he's a professor at it. And I've been listening to him, and I always thought that property wasn't a good asset to have. But if you do it the right way, it's good.
100%. It's the one thing that will never go out of fashion either.
Yeah, and he's inspired me in that way. You know, I'm busy building funds and stuff for my kids and setting that up, but it's a good commodity moving forward.
Yes, long term.
So I haven't invested in that heavily yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's on the horizon.
Yeah, and he's one of those people that are close to me. He's a good guy.
No, lovely.
Very honored to know him, actually.
If you had one piece of advice for the people watching this right now, what would you tell them?
Got a couple things,
Cool.
but it's all in the same sentence. Don't bullshit yourself. Be honest with yourself. Stand up for yourself. Do the work. Get up every day and smash your day. Don't make excuses.
No negotiations.
No negotiations.
Perfect. And I think we're going to call it on that because I need to pee. I'm not gonna lie. My bladder's very weak when I fast like this. But, dude, thank you again so
Pleasure.
much. Thank you for letting us into your beautiful home as well. We're going to do some cool portfolio work with you now after this. It's going to come
Awesome.
out, so people be on the lookout for
Thank
Jason
you.
the model, you know.
Thanks so much, guys.
But, yeah, thank you so much for this conversation. Where can
Thank you.
everybody find you on the socials if they want to get a hold of you for anything?
At Jason Spirit, Instagram, Jason Wolverson is my Facebook. I've got a page on there, Smash Life. LinkedIn, I'm also Jason Wolverson. And then I think that's good for now. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, comments, anything for Jason over here, leave it in the comments, like and subscribe to our YouTube page, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Re-entry initiated. Incoming message.
The Modern Man Podcast.